Millions around the world see the United States as their #1 travel destination. Daniel Cabral is one of them. Although he lives along the beautiful Brazilian coast, he looks for opportunities to visit the States.
It's really good for us Brazilians to go shopping in the States because the prices there compared to here, buying here, are really low.
In fact, foreign visitors represent big money. Last year they spent $150 billion here, and Brazilians topped the charts, spending around $5,000 per visit.
The fact is Brazilians, especially the newly rich Brazilians, up here in the Northeast, they have opportunities and money to spend, and they want to see the world. They want to see America.
But it's not all good news. The value of global travel is expected to double in the next 10 years to over $2 trillion. But the U.S. share of that is shrinking. That's why many are asking the government to ease travel restrictions.
People like to use services that are easy and convenient.
Security analyst James Carafano says a laborious visa process hurts foreign tourism. It stems in part from 9/11. In fact, the travel industry calls the last 10 years the lost decade. In 2000, the U.S. commanded 17% of the world's international travel. Today, it's just 12%. A big reason for that drop is that many potential tourists need a passport plus a visa to travel to the U.S. And getting that visa can take months.
You have to go through a lengthy application process and also have an in-person interview with a consular officer in order to be approved for a visa.
CBN News met Bruno Teixeira as he waited for his outside the U.S. consulate in Recife, Brazil.
Because my city, I can't take the visa there, so I gotta travel to here and spend 2 days here.
What we've seen with some Brazilian tourists as they're actually going to countries where they don't have to get a visa, countries like France, countries like Germany.
At Disney World in January, the president announced that the U.S. will cut visa wait times in Brazil and China by 40% in the next year. And thanks to extra staff, it's already happening. In Recife, it used to take 60 days to get a visa. It now takes 2. There's also support to add more countries, such as Brazil, to the visa waiver program. This allows travelers to come to the U.S. with just their passport.
Well, I think the #1 thing the United States can do is make it easier to travel to the United States. Now, in a post-9/11 world, people confuse easy with more security risks, but that's not necessarily so.
Carafano and others maintain travelers from visa waiver countries are less of a risk. That's because those countries must agree to specific security protocols, share lost and stolen passport information, and have a low visa refusal rate to begin with.
The U.S. government knows more information about somebody coming from a country where you don't have to get a visa, ironically, than a country where you do.
For Daniel Cabral, these efforts are already paying off. It took just 2 weeks for him to get a visa for a visit in May.
I told my friends, all my friends about my experience. They are all trying. Even my family, they're getting their visas now because of the facilities.
Bringing in tourists becomes a greater priority with the current unemployment rate. That's because every 33 visitors here create 1 American job. So the more people who visit, the more Americans will get back to work. Heather Sells, CBN News.